Hawaii Wellness Network, and we have something really exciting to share with you tonight. And I just learned new statistics that people that are not able to breathe and having heart problems, we're only saving 5%, and we're taking all these classes. So there's actually new techniques, and we have representatives from the Hawaii Heart Foundation to talk to us about the new CPR techniques. And is it called something different now?
It's called hands-only CPR.
Hands-only CPR. Well, great. Would you like to, and we were going through some statistics, and we've been learning, and I was a nanny, and I took the classes probably 10 times, and so now we don't have to kiss them and use the mouth and the breath and just hands only. And so you actually brought a dummy and to go through some of the new techniques and how we can save people's lives.
Yeah, it's become easier than ever because of the reason that it's been so difficult in the past to much remember. With American Heart's new science is that all you simply need to do is shake and shout. If no response, if they're not talking to you, looking at you, get someone to call 911 right away and just start compressions. We teach the kids all the time if they say ask.
And yell at someone else to call 911.
Definitely command them, yes.
And you said one of the biggest mistakes that adults have made is they're afraid of hurting the person. And we talked about if, I had a choice of maybe hurting a rib or doing too much compressions or not in the right place that I lived, I'd be okay with that.
Better to break a rib.
Yes.
And push hard than to not push hard, don't break a rib and you die.
So just go for it.
Just go for it.
And do the best you can, because that's better than nothing. So a lot of people are just afraid they're going to hurt them if they don't do anything and just wait.
Kind of the new saying is push hard, push fast. They say, I'll stop.
Okay. And they start talking, then you're done.
Exactly.
You accomplished your mission.
Yeah.
So do you want to go ahead and show us some samples of the new technique and walk us through?
So we're going to actually shake them. Hey, are you okay? No response. Call 911. Get an AED. And then compression.
What does that mean? You're telling me AED?
AED, Automated External Defibrillator.
Okay.
It's the shocking machine.
Okay.
And then you would help someone to get it if there is one around.
Okay.
And then once you do, you want to do compressions. You want to lock your arms and lock your elbows and push them. And you keep going. It'll be between the two nipples, and you'd actually be doing it on the ground, but since we're out here,
you don't put it up on a massage table or anything like that. And do you want to put a pillow under their head or any kind of blankets, or it's just better if they get a little bump on their head, that's okay, they're going to live?
That's right.
Just plain and simple and just go for it.
There was actually a study done not too long ago about 450 people who had CPR done that didn't need it, and there was actually one injury. He broke his hip after being pulled off the bed.
Wow, interesting.
So there is no injury, whether they need it or not. Better to do it than not do it.
So that's just everybody's illusion that might
It's going to
happen.
hurt them.
Yeah.
So
Well, it hurt them more if they don't live.
Yeah.
And what would be a reason for them not to breathe or be unconscious?
Oh, lots of reasons. Cardiac arrest, which is an electrical problem. So kind of to explain, heart attacks, most people will call it, somebody collapses, they'll call it a heart attack. No, not a heart attack. Heart attacks are plumbing problems. So there's a clot within a vessel feeding the heart oxygen. There's symptoms, they're awake, they're talking, chest pain, jaw pain, arm pain, shortness of breath, that kind. That's a heart attack.
So they're alert and
they're alert.
Their eyes are moving.
Yes, they're talking to you. Oh, my
And
chest.
they're breathing.
Yeah, they're talking. So for that person, call 911, keep them calm, but wait for the ambulance to come. This guy, cardiac arrest, is the leading cause of death in the United States, happening once every minute of every day. And there's over 100 reasons that someone can have a cardiac arrest. It can be simple dehydration, a virus, bacterial infection, congenital heart problem, hundreds of reasons. But this person, there were no symptoms. They were just walking along, playing. We have kids who are playing video games and just suddenly collapse.
And they're not breathing, their eyes are not open, they're not talking.
And the old look for breathing first, gone, because you can't figure it out.
Right, so you just ask them, or wait, or
yeah. Like Henry said, just shake them. If they're not talking to you, command someone, call 911 and start pushing them.
And how young can you do this? I mean, even if they're tiny little babies?
Yeah. We're now believing that there's a potential that SIDS, which everybody's always so fearful about, right, sudden death, infant death, it's probably not a breathing problem. It's probably a heart problem. But these kids were so young, we didn't do cardiac screening. We didn't know that potential that this infant's going to have a heart problem, and we're now believing that there's a good chance that those are cardiac problems.
Some of the parents
yeah.
would find them in the crib and they're not breathing, and they would just assume that they're gone.
And I'm afraid I'm going to hurt the baby if I start compressions. I'm afraid.
And so by the time the ambulance gets
Too late.
Too late. That's very sad.
Yeah.
Definitely have to improve over the 5%.
Yes.
And you've actually been doing a lot with the high, so you're working with the children to re-educate a new generation, because I learned the completely wrong way.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm a registered nurse. I'm an ER nurse. I can save your life. I can save her life, but can she save my life? And so that's what we're teaching the kids, and then the kids turn around and teach other kids.
That's great. So you have videos online to demonstrate how to do everything. So how did you get started? Your mom showed you?
The Hawaii Heart Foundation actually came to my school, Barrington, and they told the story about Kristen, and it actually touched us because we were actually learning how to do CPR the conventional way, which is 30 to 2. And when they actually came to our school, they showed hands only, which was really different from what we learned. So I got in touch with Miss Foster, and we worked together for my senior project and my poster competition.
Great. So that's great. So you're teaching your friends. Do you guys have practice at recess? Or?
No, they just come to me and like, oh, I'll teach you.
That's great. So are you teaching classes or assisting in the classes? Because I know you were at the Aloha Run.
Yes.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Anne-Marie was responsible at the Great Aloha Run. She got over 90 volunteers to come out. And there was rows of 30 kids at a time, and these kids are begging people, come, learn. And they would have the mannequins down there and teach them, you can learn within 5 minutes. Do this. That's all it takes.
So you're certified actually to teach, because I know a lot of, anytime you're a nanny or you're a nurse, you need to take a class every 2 to 3 years. Do you know what that time period is? Is it the same?
For a certification class, I think you're talking about the infant or child first aid CPR AED class, and that's about 7 hours. It's certified. It goes through depth on everything, but you don't have to be certified to perform CPR, but because of that job, you have to be certified, so then you have to sit through the full 7-hour course. And it's really informational. It's a good course.
Right. Yeah, I've taken it many times.
Yeah.
In the past.
Maybe you want to teach it.
No, I wouldn't have it. But they can get in touch with you to teach anytime.
Yes.
And do you want to give them your information?
Yeah, we kind of have 2 legs of the company. The certification comes through AED Institute, which is a for-profit company, does all the AED sales for the island, CPR certification, for an American Heart Training Center, that type of thing. So they can call the office anytime, 440-8988, or go to our website, aedinstitute.com. But then we started this nonprofit leg when, like Anne-Marie was saying, Kristen Michael-Quaddy, she was a local teacher, 28 years old, and had cardiac arrest.
Wow.
Didn't survive. She was part of that 95% that don't survive. So after her death, we met with her mom and we started this nonprofit. So we go out and train every child in the state, no cost. And that's simply go to hawaiiheart.org, same office number 440-8988.
Because everybody needs to take this class, especially if you have children or, you could be at the pool and something could happen.
Yes.
You need to know. And take responsibility and not just think, oh, someone's going to save me or save people around.
Well, we partner very closely with City and County Fire and City and County EMS for just that reason. They know if they arrive on scene and nobody's doing anything, they'll go through the steps. They'll pull out their toys, they'll do what they're supposed to do, but chance of survival is limited. But if they arrive on scene and somebody's doing compressions hard and fast, they're going to get really excited because now they know they have a potential to save a life.
Right.
So they come out to all of our events with the kids in the schools.
Wonderful. How did you get started with CPR and being a nurse many years ago?
Purely by mistake. My dad said, you need to find a job. So he said, go to nursing school. No, I don't want to be a nurse. Go to nursing school. All right. 30 years later, I'm still a nurse, and then started this little company. We run the airport AED program statewide, and that again was just totally a fluke. But even on that program, 5% survival rate here in the state. If you have a cardiac arrest within the airport, your chance of survival is 69%.
Oh, that's good.
Because we've saved 20 out of 29 lives.
So if you're going to have something happen at the
airport, yeah. Good chance of survival, right? Yeah, we've saved 20 lives in the last 7 years.
That's wonderful.
So it becomes a mission, it becomes a calling, and then you teach the kids and watch the kids teach others.
It's really exciting. Yes, I saw you on the news the other day. You were doing demonstrations, so that's really neat.
Yeah.
Wonderful. And do you ever find, like, in a group situation that some people just don't want to step forward, you know, in a group of 40 or 50 people, and you just really need to take action and have confidence in what you're doing and not...
It's really, it's the common occurrence. And most people will take a step backwards. Somebody else knows more than I do. Or they're afraid of liability or afraid of hurting, or they don't know their skill, or I'm not certified, you know, all these excuses for not taking action, but it's fear. And so unfortunately the person will pass away. And
so the more confidence in taking the classes and being around other people. Yeah, that's it. Well, the kids are better at technology and they're better at everything.
Yeah, they'll run forward, they'll go through the middle, they're not afraid. Our favorite grade to teach is 5th grade. Because the 5th graders still want to be superheroes, and that's what our campaign is, superheroes. Yeah.
And you brought some CDs?
Yeah, so this next week on February 27th, we have a fundraiser for the foundation, and it's going to be at Fresh Cafe, and it's a night, it's called Picnic and Asphalt Jungle, and we'll be doing a picnic, poo-poos dinner, and certification, and knowledge about congenital heart problem within kids. We have physicians that are coming out to talk to the people, and really going over this kind of stuff. We're going to have people who have done CPR within the community to share their story, survivors, families of non-survivors, but a lot of people that help support what we do. And as a part of that is if you come to the certification night, you get certified, but not only that, you get to take home your own mannequin. And so now your newfound power, right? I know how to save her life, but who's she with, right? So then she gets to go and take the mannequin and go teach everybody else. This is $50, but the price of dinner, certification, and the mannequin is $50 on the 27th.
And you're doing a big class. And Fresh Cafe is right down the street. They have great food.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. And they'll be taking care of a lot of the poo-poos that night.
Wonderful.
So we did this a year ago, and it's going to become an annual event. And just the information getting it out there about cardiac arrest, about congenital heart problems in our children. It's really going to be a very powerful night. So.
Is there anything that a parent can do to do testing ahead of time? Because you mentioned a lot of people just all of a sudden, you know, collapse and they don't know that they have any heart problems. Is there testing or, you know, things that people can do just to make sure that they don't have anything wrong?
Yeah, there is. We're actually working with a pediatric cardiologist, electrophysiologist. This is a physician who specializes in children's hearts, but also the electrical system within the heart rate. So Dr. Andras Brockenschach is one of our board members, and he's one of our physicians. And we're putting together a leave behind brochure right now that'll give the signs and symptoms. There's a lot of information coming out now that epilepsy, seizures, we always thought those are neurological problems. What we're finding is that they're cardiac problems. It's not that things are going haywire in the brain, it's that things are going haywire in the heart and causing them to collapse.
So they're not getting oxygen to the
which
brain.
Then causes that seizure. Yeah, so between that exercise-induced asthma, we thought that was a lung problem. We're now finding that that's a cardiac problem. And these kids have never been worked up for cardiac problems because we thought kids didn't have that. So we're going to have a brochure, but it's simply shortness of breath with exercise, seizures, fainting, dizziness, all these kind of symptoms that kids get.
And so just kind of watch if things are out of scope.
Yeah.
So it can happen at any age.
Yeah. And Dr. Brockenschach will be at the event on Wednesday night, and we should have that brochure done by then, and we'll be able to hand those out. He is seeing any kid in the state, no referral. Just give us a call. If you're having those symptoms, let's get you in. We actually taught a class just recently at one of the YMCAs, and we found a 28-year-old that's been having these symptoms. Both his father and grandfather died before the age of 40.
Wow.
His sister, at 34 years of age, just had a cardiac arrest. He's never been worked up.
So it's obviously genetic or something.
Yeah, but how come he's never had a screening? There's a good probability that he's got some kind of congenital heart problem. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe we can give him a clean bill of health. So we're partnering with Kaiser for that as well.
Sure.
Yeah,
to know ahead of time. And even if you're like friends and you know at school and you notice a friend's getting kind of dizzy or lightheaded, and they might not notice, you know, you might want to go to them.
Especially sports players, like athletes, they need to do that.
Yeah.
Right. they're not eating or, just and you notice when your friends are kind of off or something's bothering them. Where they're like, oh, well, it's not a big deal. I just didn't eat breakfast or something.
Well, if you're a parent today, I would give you one recommendation is Google energy drinks and cardiac arrest.
Yes, the Red Bull and all that is not good for them.
Killing our children.
Yes,
Causing
all the
dehydration, right? Caffeine is a dehydrator. It's a diuretic, so they become dehydrated. Their heart is now amped up on all these stimulants, and then they want to go out and play football.
Right.
They're collapsing.
Wow. So I think they're starting to change some of the laws with the power drinks and things like that.
Yeah.
They're putting 2 or 3 cups of coffee into one day.
Yeah.
That's scary.
And then they don't just drink one.
Yeah.
And there's no water in between, no replacement, right?
And then they go to Starbucks and have coffee or something and sugar.
Yeah, it's hurting our kids.
Well, and that's a message you could give the kids. It's better to drink the water.
Then energy drinks.
Yeah.
Well, great. Well, thanks for coming on. And do you want to give out your phone number again and the date of the event?
Okay.
So everybody can come and support you.
Thank you. Yeah, Fresh Cafe, Picnic and Asphalt Jungle, Wednesday, February 27th. Call us, 440-8988, or our website at hawaiiheart.org, and all the information is there.
So someone can get in touch with you to teach, or if they want to certify and
Yes.
be like you and be able to teach other
Yeah.
people and
Yeah.
be involved. And then you have other events coming up throughout the year
Yes.
that you can check in.
Yes. Yeah, it's all over our website, whatever we're up to.
Great. Well, thanks for coming on, and now I'm educated on the new system after learning the other system for 25 years.
Yeah.